Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Outro from NF and his 2017 album Perception. I'm musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. So let's get in, see what all's going on with this song. On Outro, NF writes about the story of his journey to the top of the rap game, his motivation for making music, and also the emotions he's experienced from pain in his life. Outro was teased on Twitter one day before its release with two tweets, one stating O and the other stating U, with the cover art, which NF's done a number of times, just dropping these letters as teasers. He also hinted the song has a music video on his Instagram, posting a teaser clip announcing it would release at midnight on August 2nd, 2017. The music video was released the same night and pictures NF in the same neighborhood of the intro video. It also uses parts of other videos included of his songs Intro 2, I Just Want to Know, Therapy Session, Real, Wake Up, and How Could You Leave Us, which the music video is over on my Patreon. The song was the first single from NF's third studio album, Perception. Outro is actually quite a surprise to fans since NF normally releases an intro as the first track of a record, but decided to save Intro 3 for the album's release. It was Nate's first release in almost a year following his single Warm Up, which dropped on September of 2016. All right, this will dig a little bit deeper into the music video. The music video showcases references to the previous music videos from his last album, Therapy Session, as well as a few others. At the end of the video, NF stumbles upon a ring of keys. These are the same keys he had used to lock himself inside of his mansion, the thoughts and struggles of his mind, as described in the song Mansion, as well as all throughout the Mansion album. In the album Mansion, each song, depending on the mood, is placed in one of 5 rooms in his mind that he has trapped himself inside of. This is further supported because there are 6 keys that were shown, 5 keys for the 5 rooms and 1 key for the front door. Perception is about NF escaping his mansion, his trapped thoughts, finally being able to put his past behind him and focus on his life without any more worries or self-doubt. That being said, he's also once again letting us inside of his rooms, like in Mansion. He said, we all have our own prisons. Sometimes I picture myself standing inside mine with the keys in my hands. This will make sense someday. Yeah, because there was that whole line, right, where he was recognized like, oh, wait, I'm holding the keys to Fear. As I think that's when it was, when he and Fear were kind of going back and forth. And he was thinking this whole time he was locked in. He was like, no, wait, I've got the keys. Then we have all the references. So Intro and Intro 2 had NF wrapped in caution tape. The address 414 is used again. Chairs everywhere, some flipped, scattered trash cans, no trespassing sign. In Therapy Session, masked people, the desk with the lamp and picture frame of Mansion. The bed, framed tweet in the yard saying he'll slaughter NF's family. The girl crying behind couch while her father takes out his anger on her mother. A boy harming himself leaning on the plane from Real. The car crash accident from I Just Want to Know. His mother smoking on the bed and his younger self from How Could You Leave Us. The destroyed plane and chainsaw from Real. And a man raking the yard from Wake Up. All right, here's the last part here, and then we'll get into the actual lyrics. The keys potentially mean in his third record, it could symbolize he's ready for a new home at the top. The album could also be called Home, which would be fitting as to why this song uses the word as much as it does. Many think the keys are to his mansion. Okay, let's get up and take a look. I'm dedicated, the definition of dedication. Wrote this whole record while I was levitating. Sitting in my room with the pen and paper, I'm innovative. I'm curious what people have to say about this. Levitation is the ascension of a body or other objects into the air by mysticism. While NF was making his new record, he's growing and levitating over his former self. His last album, Therapy Session, was a huge success, making his third record rise above his last. Okay. They've been afraid of me since I was a second grader. I'm the kid on the playground Mama told you to never play with. There's levels of music, and I'm in the elevator. I was the kid growing up that you definitely didn't want your kids to play with. So, praise God, I'm not that person anymore. But I was definitely like, hey, you shouldn't hang out with that kid. Going up to the top floor, look how we elevated. What, you don't know the brand by now? You better get educated. Take both my arms, rip them out the sockets, and separate them. Forgive me, yeah, I know I get animated. Don't matter. I wonder what he's trying to say here. Someone's label is animated, meaning someone's very, yeah, I get that. In Nate's case, some people feel his music can be very aggressive and violent, as pointed out on therapy session. Nate's style of rap music can be used as a voice for those who need it most, while also can be a barricade for parents who feel his music is aggressive and dark. If you choose to believe his music is not worth it, Nate won't take it personally. Brush it off because his upcoming record will still be fire. Yeah. But I was curious if it'd take both of my arms, rip them out my sockets, and separate them. I was more so curious about that. Don't matter. Still write a better record than yours without a hesitation. Oh, I guess it's just saying, like, even if you were to take both of his arms and separate them, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to write a better record. Never been more motivated. Just look at all the minds I have opened and penetrated. See, I'm the voice of all these kids that think things but never say them. This is the line right there. That's what's most important. And even on the outro music video, I saw somebody, an adult who posted about, coming home from being deployed and just, basically his marriage, his wife had run off with somebody else and he had PTSD and like tried to, commit suicide and then discovered NF's music and it just absolutely connected with him, changed him. And he's been very healthy and he was addicted. He got into alcoholism and it was like the thing that pushed him and motivated him and gave him the fire to get clean and build his life back up. And so, man, okay, makes you emotional thinking about it. But that's what it's about. I'm the voice of all these kids or people that think things but never say them. That's why they come to my shows wearing the NF hoodies and hats low like we're carrying weapons. Put the controllers away, it's game over. I promise I'm way colder. The fans keep saying that they're hungry for new music. Well, that's pretty convenient because I just made a plate for them. Which obviously, again, if this is leading into the album, teasing the album, then obviously he's saying I've got a whole new album coming for you. And I don't hear what none of y'all are saying. I just sit at the keys, feeling the music. Got me thinking I'm Beethoven. I didn't know. Does NF play piano? I know Beethoven is. He made his music by feeling the vibration to the floor. In the same way NF feels the music by getting very personal. Songs like How Could You Leave? Okay. NF also might be referring to the musical genius work ethic. The classical composer had fierce dedication to his music, especially toward the end of his life when he continued to compose at a furious pace despite his loss of hearing. Let's see if NF plays an instrument. Okay. NF, whose real name is Nathan, plays some instruments, primarily piano, has a good understanding of music theory from his piano background, which informs his cinematic sound, though he also heavily collaborates with a producer like Tommy Profit, complex orchestral arrangements for his tracks. Okay. Very cool. The game needs a makeover. If you've been waiting, the wait's over. You ain't noticed? Y'all about to witness a takeover. I'm home. Yeah, they waiting on me to match the emotion that I had in the last one. What if I don't? They gonna tell me I'm losing my passion? If I do, am I repeating my actions? Dude, this is such I don't know. I can't think of the right word I'm thinking of, but just a difficult situation, right? Which is why I'm just kind of, when it comes to artists that I enjoy, it's like, I just want to take it for what it is. As they're growing and changing and evolving. It's just like, okay, like I want to follow you through all those different seasons. And you may like certain things better than others, but at the same time, it's like artists need to have the space to experiment and do different things because, again, okay, we did it different. You didn't really like it. We do it the same, and you're like, oh, we already had that, and it's a very difficult thing to balance. Yeah, look, how could you leave us is massive. There ain't nothing I can write that'll match that. My biggest fear writing this record wasn't putting out trash. It was disappointing myself and the fan base. I think he probably knows by now, like he's not putting out trash. Anything he creates isn't going to be trash, but it may not live up to what he's desiring. And something could live up to what he's desiring and not be what the fans desire. Now, I want you to picture me. I'm in a hotel rapping, crying on the floor of the bathroom, staring in the mirror, my room, hands shaking, playing How Could You Leave Us through the speakers on my iPhone, trying to figure out if I'm always feel the way that I feel, or maybe someday I can learn to be happy, or maybe I can't, because if the music ain't emotional enough, are they gonna call me a has-been? Pain's always been the root of my music. If I cut off the root, how am I supposed to keep growing? If I let it go, won't my whole career be in ruins? I'm interested to see what this says. Pain is a very popular topic throughout NF's music. He had a very tough home life during his childhood, with his parents divorcing, losing his mom to a drug overdose. It's talked about in How Could You Leave Us? And tough relationships of the past is described in I Just Want to Know. NF metaphorically describes how he utilizes pain he has experienced in order to create music that people can relate to. He has used music as an outlet to reach people, and it has turned him into the star he is today. However, NF wonders how will he keep maturing and creating music that people can relate to if he cuts off the inspiration he gets from the pain he goes through. Which obviously that's for a later album. On Epiphany, he rapped something similar, talking about using hurt in his music. I could put all my hurt into music and use it for people that might feel the same as me. But yeah, I talked about that a little bit in the React, just that it's got to be a difficult thing. You know, you don't want to like keep yourself in destructive cycles just so you can produce something. But there is that fear that's like, well, if I don't stay in this place, like, will I have something to give? That's when I realized this whole conversation is stupid. I never cared to impress people that don't even know me. I just write what I feel. Somehow it started a movement. Trying to enjoy a career, but I don't know how to do it. When I spend all my time being afraid I'm going to lose it. Man, that's a powerful line. And I think that can apply in real life as well, you know, not just toward artists. Again, you might get a promotion in your job or an opportunity that you've been waiting on, but generally with greater opportunities, right, come greater responsibilities. And then it's like, so you've achieved either that level or that income that you've desired, but now there's more responsibility and there's a fear of losing that, you know, or not being able to rise to the occasion. And it can just be a really tough thing to balance and work out in life at times. But then I figured out the reason they follow me, the reason why these fans surrounding me. It's not because I'm a rap god. Did Rap God come out around this time? Okay, so 2013 was Rap God. Gosh, that feels like forever ago. NF is often referred to as the Christian Eminem, and some have suggested they should do a track together. Nate acknowledges the comparison, but takes a different approach and humbles himself to his fans. NF addressed his disapproval of the comparison in a 2014 interview with Wade O, where he said, I think the thing that annoys me the most out of it, I feel like some people just do it because I'm white and I rap, and as soon as they hear a white rapper, they assume Eminem. I think Eminem is one of the greatest lyricists and artists of all time. I think when people compare me to him, that's not what they're saying. They're saying I'm like a knockoff. So yeah, when I heard that, I was like, I wonder if he's referencing Eminem's Rap God, but I didn't know it came out all the way back in 2013. I don't need you people to bow to me. All they ever did was doubt on me. Now everyone's proud of me. Acknowledge me or not, you ain't ignoring the following. just teaching them something they couldn't learn in the colleges. This is for the kids feeling like they live at the bottom and every day of their lives feel like it's darker than Halloween, which obviously is just talking about kind of the real life issues, the emotional things that we go through. That sure, there are plenty of places you get an education, but often those places are not set up to help you, to educate you in how to deal with your emotions. Which honestly, I was like, I don't really want, I don't really want the government or school systems trying to fully teach my kids how to deal with those things. I think that's primarily my job as a parent. I'd rather them just try to teach what is factual and leave the deeper work to the parent, which unfortunately there are a lot of people who don't have that, the good role models in their life who are invested in really teaching those deeper things. But that's obviously what he's addressing, is like, he's bringing a whole different side to things. He's bringing this idea about how do you deal with your anger and your fears and insecurities and depression and all of that. It's what he's trying to educate. Yeah, you ain't alone out there. Look around you. We got a lot of fans in here. A couple 100,000. That's what we did last year. Listen to intro. I wonder if he's saying like that's what we made last year, but also referencing to the couple 100,000 fans that are there. Listen to intro 3, Trying to Kill My Fear. They'll get that in a moment. We're about to shatter the critics, because obviously this came out before intro 3. Intro 3 released with the album. So that's what he's referencing. I am a savage, admit it, a lot of baggage I live in. That's why the passion is different. Really don't care if they get it. We're only 3 records in, and this is just the beginning. I'm home. All right. Well done, NF. Really solid album there for you. I'm excited to see what comes up in the search, but we still have the search. We still have we'll probably do Clouds. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Clouds, the mixtape. So I guess that is in between the search and Hope. So we'll go through that. But then obviously we have Hope, and his newest album, Fear, is already up on the channel, because that was where we started with NF. So we'll get into it. But thanks for being with me for this one. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Hope to see you in the next one, because we're eating good.